This would change the future of Miami Hurricanes football under Mario Cristobal. So let's see. Let's see what they got to say. If you don't know, if you haven't been following my channel, you know I love Mario Cristobal in Miami. Hate Carson Beck. I think them picking up Carson Beck was the worst thing they could have ever done. Carson Beck is not Cam Ward. Carson Beck can't take over a game like Cam Ward could. Let's see what JD got to say about it.
A ripple effect that would be huge would be if Miami wins the ACC in 2025. We'll talk about
that's definitely huge with Carson. I don't think they could do it with Carson Beck. If you use the same offense you had last year with Cam Ward, with Carson Beck, you're asking for trouble. You're asking for 15 picks. He gonna probably get you some TDs, but he gonna probably put you in some holes as well. So Cam Ward did a pretty good job protecting the football and keeping you guys in the game with his just immense arm talent. But I don't know if Carson Beck will do it. Now, on the flip side, to be fair to Carson, if they do go out and Carson Beck just lighten it up like a Christmas tree, I'm gonna give him his credit. I'm like, dang, bro, that was the best thing for Carson Beck. Miami made the best move for them at that time, and I couldn't see it. And I'll make that video. Ain't no problem. I've done it before. Let's keep it going.
So the first thought now, if this happens, how are you going to negatively recruit against Mario Cristobal? And you laugh a little bit because he's a great recruiter, and Miami has slow.
Like I said, the full video is linked in the description below. But for the record, I hate negative recruiting. I hate it. You should only recruit positively about your program. If your program is so good, just talk about what's good and let them kids make a decision on their own. Stop doing all this negative recruiting. Stop doing that. That just tell them that you're inferior to whoever you can recruit against. Like, stop the negative recruiting, man. That's lame. That's weak. That's cap.
Slowly but surely taking the steps on the field to be in position to make this a possible thing. But what's the negative recruitment or the negative thing people always say against Mario Cristobal, right now at least? Well, yeah, they got the NIL thing. Well, yeah, Miami's probably a cool place to live, but like, what have they done? It's always a substance conversation, right? Hard to argue.
I think Miami has done pretty good under Mario Cristobal. He's done an amazing job recruiting the portal, recruiting high school, bringing in JUCO guys, bringing in the right guys in the right places. That defense last year was terrible. Offense was great. They got pieces on defense. I think Ruben Bain. I think that's Ruben Bain. I'm thinking about Florida. I don't know. But anyway, defense has pieces. But can they put it together? Can they put it all together? We're gonna see. I know they revamped their secondary, so we're gonna see how much difference that makes. But we're gonna see.
Argue with the trophy. All right, hard to argue with a team that not just wins the ACC, but at that point locks up a spot in the college football playoff. There's no more to be said at that point in time against Mario Cristobal.
If Mario Cristobal and the Miami Hurricanes crack the playoffs, get in one of those top 12 slots, it's over with. It's over because, to be honest with you, they should have been in there last year. We all know that. Miami should have been in there last year. Miami should have been in there last year. And if they can do this with, like I said, as much as I don't like Carson Beck, if he is the quarterback of a team at Miami that goes to the playoffs and eclipsed the record they had last year, I tip my hat off to you, brother. I tip my hat to you.
Cristobal and what he's built there out there in Coral Gables. Also, you turn around and you say, well, we probably should have seen this coming, right? Because every single year, I just said this, they've gotten better. It's 5 wins, 7 wins, 10 wins. It wouldn't be the most absurd thing ever if they made the college football playoff and won the ACC here in 2025. I'm just saying. Now, the part of this that would, I think, be most ripply, if you will, the impact we'd all feel across the college football landscape. Mario Cristobal, speaking of him being negatively recruited against, he's a dog on the recruiting trail. We've seen that.
He really is.
Feels like every single year Miami has the best class in the ACC. Multiple top 10 classes under Cristobal so far.
But to that effect, if you constantly year after year after year have the best recruiting class in the ACC, we're not talking about college football, period. We're talking about in your conference. Why haven't you won the conference yet? Just to be fair, and I love Mario Cristobal, fellow offensive line guy, recruits offensive line well. Blindside Pro was started with offensive and defensive linemen. So I rock with Mario Cristobal, but you have to ask the question, if you constantly have the number one class in the ACC, why can't you win the ACC? Is this the year that they do it? Was Carson Beck the missing piece? I don't know. We're going to find out soon.
If they were to make the playoff and win the ACC and they have that substance, you're arming him with ridiculous recruiting ammo. Most importantly, the recruiting ammo he could then use to recruit the state of Florida. If you win the state of Florida,
preach on
the
it.
recruiting trail, that is, you have everything you need to win national championships, in my humble opinion. Very few states like
you right, JD. You can win the state of. I'm gonna be honest with you, Florida, Miami, FSU, UCF, USF, FAU. None of Florida teams don't even have to lead a state to win. All you gotta do is win your state, and you won. Like, Florida is a hotbed. Yes, you can go up to Georgia and get you some offensive linemen here or there, running back, whatever. But you can get Florida can get everything Florida teams can get everything they need in that small state of Florida. That's crazy. That's how much talent is in there.
Like that. I think Texas is one of those. I think you could argue California at their best is one of those, if you're also able to recruit other parts of the country well in addition to that. But like, if you recruit Florida, make no mistake about it. Look at those old Saban teams, Alabama, stockpiled with dudes from Florida, dudes from South Florida. And so when you have a pitch to guys to say, hey, stay home, stay within this 305 area code, and you can do everything you want to do on the football field, there's no better pitch than that, dude. On top of the NIL, on top of the brand power, on top of everything that comes to Mario Cristobal in Miami, like that in itself, I think would be absolutely huge. Because you also think if you win the ACC, I don't think it's a stretch to assume that you probably beat Florida State, and who knows where you are against a team like Florida, but like put the hurdle on them a season ago in Gainesville, so all bets are off. If you can win the ACC and what that would do for your in-state recruiting, be huge, man.
Crazy.
Absolutely huge, and it would solidify Miami as a power in the college football world, I think, here for the next couple of seasons, as long as Cristobal is cooking like he's cooking on the recruiting trail. And the last,
to me, Miami is already a power. I think Mario Cristobal has already earned that distinction. But the question is, are they a playoff national championship contending team? We know you can beat the 80%, 99% of teams that's not going to be in the playoffs. Not even going to be close. We know you're going to beat them teams. Can you beat the teams, them other 12, 15 teams vying for those, them 25 teams, them ranked teams vying for positions in the playoffs? Can you beat those teams consistently and at a high rate?
Last thing I want to say, and we've said this a lot around Miami, a lot around Carson Beck, especially with what Cam Ward did last year, but that quarterback blueprint is there. It's absolutely there. Now, what happens with Shannon Dawson? Who knows? I know there was talk around him in the Rice job earlier when that whole thing became open. I don't think it's irresponsible to assume that, he will eventually at some point in time become a head coach. But it's still Mario Cristobal's Miami, where you make the pitch of, no, you come here as a quarterback. Cam Ward came here. First round pick, first overall pick. Carson Beck, we win the ACC, make the playoff. I think it's fair to assume he will be a first round pick. Whether it's the transfer portal, whether it's the high school level, you can then attract top quarterbacks, I think, with very minimal resistance, or at least very...
I disagree. All this proves is that you do a good job of recruiting already proven quarterbacks, because Cam Ward was a transfer, Carson Beck is a transfer. All it proves is you do a good job paying already proven quarterbacks. So it doesn't mean, and I think Luke Nickel, I think Miami has a really good quarterback, a young quarterback in Luke Nickel. Don't know when he'll see the field, maybe next year. But I really like Luke Nickel. I think he's going to be a really good quarterback in the future. Hopefully he stays at Miami. He could come to Georgia. I'll take him at Georgia. But all this proves, Cam Ward to Carson Beck, proves that I can spend the money to get an already proven commodity. So being able to recruit a quality quarterback out of high school has yet to be seen. I believe Luke Nickel is that potential pick for them if he can get on the field. But I disagree with that.
Very minimal resistance to the plan that you have in place. And if that's true, man, we keep saying this. Quarterbacks in college football, if you have a quarterback, you have a chance. In modern college football, I should say. The 12-team playoff, the 16-team playoff, as this thing continues to expand, having a top-tier quarterback will only grow in importance. The rest of the roster, absolutely a big part of that. But having a quarterback, that will be the difference maker for you when you make the postseason and when you're in position then to go play for some hardware past your conference championship. And Miami winning their conference championship, I think, would only solidify their opportunity to bring in more top quarterbacks? Kind of the chicken or the...
Yeah, man, like I say, I thought me and JD aligned in a lot of places today. I rock with JD. Maybe my favorite person to react to on 3. I want to react to more Andy and Ari content, but I don't know, man. My boy JD, yeah, we got something going. Pause. But yeah, let me know what y'all think about this in the comments below. Does Miami have a shot? Will Miami win the ACC? And if they do, what does it mean?